Hey, how's it going, people? I hope that you're having a good one and everything is beautiful with you and yours. We're going to talk about a couple of things today. As usual, we know we always do a normal show, but I also like to start off, as you know, with a topic. And my topic today is cliches and other popular phrases that are, for the most part, just bullshit. Okay? We want to deal with these. These are, cliches are phrases and opinions that are basically overused. They lack original thought. They are stereotypes in some manners. This is an old term, come from the French. Uh, they now have become negative stereotypes and meanings, ideals and standards. They're somebody else's moral compasses. So we should try not to use any of these if necessary. And let's go through them pretty quick. Don't cry over spilt milk. Okay, that's kind of self-explanatory. What adult's gonna cry over spilt milk? Get some more milk, pour another jug, another glass. Get some more for your cereal. It's no big deal. More money, more problems. Straight out lie. More less money, more problems. A person with more money can survive. A person with no money is homeless. They may not get medical attention. All the person with money needs to learn to do is manage their money and have the ability to say no to people asking for handouts. Every cloud has a silver lining. Is that really true? Some clouds are just dark, black, and foreboding. Cat got your tongue. What cat has your tongue? You just are blaming something for your lack of ability to speak on a subject. When it rains, it pours. No time. Sometimes it's a drizzle. So that's a straight out lie. You're dressed to kill. No, you're sharp as a tack. Another one that's bullshit. Dressed to kill, sharp as a tack. Neither one of them make pretty much any sense. Splitting image. No, you look very familiar or similar to another individual, but you're not the splitting image. Unless you're a twin, it's nonsense. Don't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes you can judge a book by its cover if you are literally talking about a book. It could be from your favorite artist. The artwork on the book could intrigue you. It could have cliff notes. Let's not forget you are judging a book by its cover. It also has a back cover. That back cover sometimes gives you a synopsis of what the story may be on, and could be exactly what you're looking to study, pursue, or learn about. When you got health, you got everything. That's not true. You can be a madman with health. You could be serving a 125-year prison term with perfect health. You can be homeless with perfect health. You can be friendless, despondent, suicidal with perfect health. Don't take any wooden nickels. In my lifetime, there has never been a thing called a wooden nickel. Happy as a clam. Do we know if clams are happy or not? Really, do we know? Do as I say, not as I do. That's just somebody just straight out bullshitting you. My advice is good for you, but it's not good for myself. You can understand that. Ignorance is bliss. So being stupid to a situation gives you the ability to feel blissful about the situation. No, you're just ignorant. And there's never any bliss in being totally ignorant to any subject matter. Better safe than sorry. Why? Sometimes you need to be in danger to actually be alive. And to be safe at all times is a fantasy. It also doesn't make sense. That means you take no chances. You don't explore the possibility of failure and success. That's a coward to stay safe. Better than sorry. A face only a mother could love also does not make sense. So what about your father? He can't love that face. Your grandmother can't love that face. You can't potentially have such a great personality that other people won't love you. just because you're not what's quote unquote considered attractive? A fool and his money are soon parted. There are a lot of rich fools. A lot of rich fools who have so much money they can't even be separated from the amount of money that they have. That's almost giving too much credit to people who have money, that they are smarter than others, which is not true. A friend in need is a friend indeed. That is a user. A friend in need. So they saying the person in need is your friend for the fact that they might have a need that you can meet, but they're not your friend. Frog in my throat. You have a raspy voice. There's no frog in your throat. Human beings don't get frogs caught in their throat. And if they do, they're going to choke us to death. You woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Okay, you got an attitude. You're not having a very good morning, but you woke up in a bed. There is no wrong side of the bed. However you laid in the bed was the proper way to lay in that bed on that particular night. The early bird gets the worm. You know what? The bird that also shows up 2 hours later might be able to get the worm if there are enough worms out there. Now, we understand none of this stuff is to be taken literal, but these are terms that don't have to be used because they are based in bullshit. Try everything once. Yeah, try Oxycontin once, try heroin once, try fentanyl once, try cocaine, crack cocaine once. Try running across a train track with the train coming. This is an asinine term. There's no time like the present. Sometimes we must wait. Sometimes we must wait for the right opportunity, the right situation, the right chance. We are not always ready to just leap out in situations, so this makes no sense. It's the little things that count. It's also the big things that count, the medium-sized things that count. Everything counts. It's not just the little ones. The little ones are part of the story, but it's not the whole story. Money talks. No, money moves shit. Money makes things happen. Money buys things. Money gets you ups. It gets you possessions. It gets you some needs and some wants. But it's not the only thing that talk, because a broke person can also move mountains. Words are powerful. They're swords. They cut down things. They break things down. They educate people. They raise people up. So money is not the only thing that talks on this planet. A watch pot never boils. A pot will boil at the proper temperature, at the proper amount of time, each and every time. This is a scientific fact. This is bullshit to say a watch pot. It's just that you are dealing with an inpatient situation that you need to deal with within yourself. The more things change, the more they stay the same. If they change, they are no longer the same. So I'm not even going to delve into that. More things change, the more they say the same. No, your opinion, your attitude about it may remain, but things that change is automatically states they are not the same if they changed. Better the devil that you know than the devil that you don't. What about neither one of those devils? You don't need either one of those devils. It actually, I think it would hurt more for the devil to be the person that you know, because that's a betrayal. See, the devil you don't know, they're not betraying you. They're just being true to their form. They don't owe you anything. But the person that you consider to be somebody and they turn up to be the devil to you, that's got to be more painful. Money is the root of all evil. False to begin with. The love of money is the root of all evil. And because money is not the root of all evil, money does a lot of good for a lot of people in this world. It helps people in situations. If you were a rich person and you had gobs of money, unlimited spending amount, you could make sure that people ate. You could make sure that people were clothed. You could make sure that people got medical health. You can make sure that they had housing. You could help them to become educated. So money is not the root of all evil. Easy come, easy go. What are you talking about here? What's easy to come and what's easy to go? Is it life? Is it finances? Is it people? It's too vague a subject to even touch on. Money burns a hole in your pocket or purse. No, it doesn't. It literally, money does not combust on its own. It's not flammable without a substance put to it to make it burn. So it does not burn money in your pocket. This is also a mentality thing where a person cannot handle having finances, so they spend it like a fool. Put your best foot forward. We walk off the proper foot each and every time. Which foot do you consider to be your best? Do you have one foot that is better than the other foot? I have 2 feet. I consider them to be equals. One I step off of, one I step down off of. We don't even consciously think about what foot we put forward. And here's the one I really like. I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. A person who stays ready is constantly getting ready. They are constantly improving on situations. This is a fluid situation. It's not a stand put situation where you are, I am set and I'm ready. No, because life is fluid. And because life is fluid, it is ever changing. So what's ready 2 weeks ago ain't going to be ready 2 months from now. So you constantly changing. So when a person says, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready, they're talking foolishness to you. And thanks for sticking through that portion of the cliches and popular phrases that I consider to be utter bullshit. So the man who got the first pig heart, this David Bennett, he was 57-year-old man. He died at the University of Maryland Medical Center. The pig heart transplant did not hold. Johnny Grier, NFL first black referee, he died at the age of 74. This guy has done Super Bowls. If you see a picture of Mr. Grier, you will know who he is, especially if you're a football fan. Charles Edelman, the baking goods guy that's in your supermarkets, those cakes, those donuts, he died at the age of 92. Former Major League pitcher Odalis Perez, he died tragically at the age of 44. He had some kind of accident on a ladder in his home, and I guess he hit his head, and he died. Emilio Delgado, better known as Louise from Sesame Street, died at the age of 81. And Tracy Braxton, one of the Braxton sisters, succumbed to cancer at the age of 50. William Hurt, who won an Oscar for Kiss of the Spider Woman, was in Altered States. And ironically, just yesterday, out of the blue in the morning, before I heard this news, I watched the episode of him on The King of Queens. He played a psychiatrist. So it was kind of weird that the same day he passed away, I just happened to be watching a comedy with this man in it, and he died at the age of 71. COVID cases in the United States are up to 82 million. 994,000 people have died. Supposedly, we up to 557 million vaccinations in one form or another. Worldwide, we up to 459 million cases and 6.1 million people dead. New York might potentially have a serial killer. They said this dude might have also shot and killed a homeless person in Washington, but he shot 2 homeless people in New York City in separate incidents. One of the men did die, unfortunately. I mean, it's a hard enough life to be living on the streets of New York City. You probably used to be somebody, you're somebody's child, maybe you were somebody's friend, and shit went haywire, and now you're being targeted. You're sleeping, and a savage runs up to you while you're sleeping, kicks you, and shoots you. Eric Adams has got to do something about this city. This dude is AOC. He's Laura Lightfoot with better outfits. He's using New York City to prop himself up. Is he a good speaker? Yes, he's a very good speaker. He speaks very well. And he's a manipulator. He's like a preacher. He's charismatic. He's ugly, but he's charismatic. And he's got a lot of people fooled. He's not doing a very good job. New York is in bad shape, but he's also supposed to be releasing back the what we call the Jump Out Boys, the anti-crime unit, starting today, which is Monday. Let's see how that works out. But they're going to be in uniform. How are you going to have plainclothes cops in uniform, and how that's going to work in New York City? I don't know. Okay, so this Enrique Turizo, the Hispanic guy who's actually running the Proud Boys, which is the most foolish shit I've ever heard. A Spanish guy is the leader of a racist organization called the Proud Boys. And, well, he was arrested, and he just came out of jail for 2 months, and now he's jailed on some conspiracy relating to the January 6, 2020 attacks on the U.S. Capitol. Let's see how this plays out. Jussie Smollett was sentenced this week to 150 days in jail plus $25,000 for faking that racist homophobic attack in 2019. This guy's not contrite. He's not remorseful at all. It's 5 months. He's probably going to have to do 2 months of the 5 months. He put on a performance at his sentencing. He's got to man up, do his time, shut the fuck up, and then go away. All these celebrities saying that he's being overbooked. This is bullshit. This was a racially tense period in America where this kind of news on a young black homosexual celebrity was huge. It was nation and worldwide. And you know what? Just because you're a celebrity and celebrities write letters to judges doesn't mean that you should get lighter charges than Joe Blow. So Cain Velasquez, the two-time UFC heavyweight champion, was denied bail, and he's facing multiple attempt murder and multiple gun charges after he fired on that pickup truck that was carrying a man that he thought allegedly abused a four-year-old member of his family. You know what? I love Cain, but once again, just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean that you get special rights. Now, do I think maybe they should have gave Cain bail? Yeah. Cain was no threat basically to anybody else other than this person, but you know what? That person lived, so I don't know if he would have came back and did harm. And that's on the judge. Cain's got to live with this. This is a bet he made. He decided to go the ultra-violent direction. And I understand that. I understand somebody hurt somebody you love. You're not going to want to go through the criminal court system. Sometimes you're just going to want to be, like gut level man and say, let me kill this motherfucker. And that's reality. So I'll go through some TV shows that I watched. I watched the first episode of The Winning Time, The Rise of the LA Lakers Dynasty. And it started off pretty hot. It started off with Magic getting his HIV news. Then they went on to Norm Nixon dogging him out at a party. So far, they're showing that Jack Kent Cooke, who was the former owner before Dr. Jerry Buss, was kind of a racist, fucked up dude. So I'm into this. The Marvelous Ms. Maisel, I watched like the first 2 episodes. The first one dealt with Susie and getting her money back to Miss Maisel. And then there was chaos on the Wonder Wheel. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's crazy. Second episode dealt with Sophie being in a mental hospital. Maisel's parents moving back in with her not being able to get booked at good clubs. I watched The Good Doctor. Sean quit in this episode. Dr. Marcus was made the chief of surgery. And Saline, this woman who must go. She must go. Dr. Jordan decided that she didn't want to help the others in getting Saline out. So she's the black woman who's going against the system, even though she knows that Saline is a horrible woman. She's not doing it. She says she refuses to do anything to help, even though this woman potentially cost 2 lives, and one of the lives being a a young child. I watch Power Force. There's this new drug. They're dealing with the Serbians. So that was an interesting episode. I watched Bob Hearts Abishola. Christina got a job for a rival sock company. Abishola's mother is a mess, but they did show humanity in her. Her and her sister had human moments. None of that Nigerian underboss lady bullshit, but some gut level. My husband hasn't spoken to me since I left Nigeria type stuff. So for once, we felt humanity towards the mother. This is us bounce back big time this week. It was the final Thanksgiving for the Pearsons. It was about Rebecca's health and the drama that goes on around the family. It was also about Rebecca and Miguel and where do they move on from this? And young Kevin confronting Miguel about maybe trying to hit on his mother. So it was a very good episode. The Equalizers dealt with Asian hate crimes. SWAT, Hondo's father and sister were involved in a holdup. The Family Guy came back, and it was revolving around this lawyer called Brick Baker. I don't know if Brick Baker is going to be a new character on the show. He's a black attorney who lives next door to Peter, and him and Peter went to court, and then Stewie and Brian had their little adventure like they always do. I'm almost at the end of baseball, the Ken Burns documentary, which is out. If you want to see something about how baseball fits into American society, how it fits into racial profiling of this country, how it fits into the propaganda, and even the use of the national anthem, I highly recommend this. I watched The Walking Dead. We found out that Max is Mercer's sister. Ezekiel, the black man, has to be above it all. He's been pushed in line to get maybe a potentially life-saving surgery. But no, how dare me be pushed in front of other people so much more deserving? This is what people say when they die. But it's always the black guy on The Walking Dead who has the moral compass that is above everybody else. Reminds me of Florida from Good Times. Her moral compass was always higher than everybody else's moral compass, and it makes no sense. Also on this show, Pamela Milton and Lance Hornsby visited the other communities. These two are not to be trusted. Lance is definitely not to be trusted because he doesn't even dig Pamela. Law and Order, Organized Crime dealt with the Marcy Killers. Finally, we moved on from Wheatley and we're on to the Marcy Killers. Law and Order SVU dealt with the World Club, some kind of fraternity that was. They have been doing this Hudson College to death. I mean, damn, thank God it's a fictional place, right? Law and Order, I caught up on 2 episodes, the OG series. One was Woman Uses Abuse Defense. She claimed that she did kill the man, but that he abused her, and that was her defense. And the second one dealt with social media, let's say TikToking, and how that involved in a media trial. SNL was very good. You had Zoe Kravitz and this singer called Rosalita. My 2 favorite skits was the Amazon Grab and Go and the Wedding Toast. Rosalita's second song was all right. The first song sucked. Also watch WWE. They're heading into WrestleMania. So the WrestleMania hype was good. Kevin Owens' promo was outstanding. Unfortunately, BigE suffered a broken neck on SmackDown. We wish BigE nothing but quick recovery and health. He did something that I thought was outstanding. He posted a video to let his fan base know that he was fine on his Twitter account. I wish NFL players would do this when they leave the field on the structure. so that people don't have to sit at home through the night wondering, is that young man all right? I think that was a great thing that BigE did. So far, for the WWE Hall of Fame, we have The Undertaker and Vader going in. I have no problem with either one of those. And by the way, RKO Bro did win back the tag team champions for the WWE. So March Madness kicks off on March 15th, and it's going to conclude with the championship game on April 4th. So make sure you get your pools in. Go to CBS, go to ESPN, join as many as you can. You might get lucky and win $1 million. You never know, right? So the NBA lockout is over. I mean, MLB lockout is over. Excuse me, people. They agreed to a new CBA. We should have a full season of Major League Baseball. I look forward to it. Tiger Woods was inducted into the Golf Hall of Fame and is well deserving. I've said a lot of bad things about Tiger over the years, but when it comes to just golf, when I separate Tiger Woods, the man, from Tiger Woods, the golfer, I can't take anything away from Tiger Woods, the golfer. He has hit some shots that are so phenomenal that in my fantasies, I can't make those shots. In my fantasies, he's done them in real life, but in my fantasies, I can't make them. So this weekend, we had a UFC. Santos versus Aikman. How vicious Khalil Roundtree was in his stoppage. He was not bullshitting about. And Cody Brundage, I have to give Cody Brundage credit. He came back from what it looked like a total devastating ass kicking to actually score a knockout. And Song Yudong's knockout of Marlon Moraes was outstanding also. Next weekend, we got the UFC, and they're in London. So it's going to be a heavy British card. Tom Aspinall is fighting Alexander Volkov. Paddy Pimblett, who's an arrogant young bastard, is fighting Cashew Vargas. Meatball Molly McCann is fighting Luna Carolina. So this should be a good card. I'm hoping it's a good card. 8 women were subpoenaed to testify in a criminal grand jury proceeding against Deshaun Watson in Houston on Friday. But they determined that no criminal charges for sexual assaults will be brought against him. So Deshaun Watson is free to play in the NFL, barring a suspension from the commissioner of the NFL. But I expect him to be on another team than the Texans, and I definitely expect him to be in uniform and playing. It was some shocking and sad news to find out that Jackson State football coach Dion Sanders had 2 of his toes amputated. He had a medical setback with that ankle, and they cost him his big toe and the toe next to his big toe. Now, I don't know how you get around walking with that. I don't know if you get a special prosthesis inside your shoes or whatever, but this was one of the greatest defensive backs who ever lived. And now, you know what? He's going to have to lean on his faith to get through the situation that he's in right now. I wish Deion Sanders nothing but the best. He's one of the greatest football players who ever lived. I don't talk about the man because I never know the man and I never know the woman. I only know the talent. And he is supreme talent. And he's shown so far for Jackson State that he's a very good coach. Like I said, once again, I wish him nothing but the best. So Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are leaving Fox to go to ESPN to be the new Monday Night Football broadcasting team. That makes Monday Night Football alone must-see TV. I think that Joe and Troy are outstanding. They're one of the better announcing teams of the last 25 years. I appreciate every time that I hear them. You're going to hear a good game called. So this is a huge win for ESPN and a huge loss for Fox as far as I'm concerned. So the Seattle Seahawks and the Broncos agreed to trade quarterback Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson is now a Bronco. I think that Russell has a good offense. If he works out all off season, Denver should be a challenge. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers have came to a brand new 4-year deal, but now naturally, Aaron being Aaron, he has to say, no, I didn't come out with a 4-year deal, but I'll be back. He's a drama queen. I don't like to get involved with his bullshit too much. I'm just passing the information. Carson Wentz is now a Washington Commander. He's no longer with the Colts. The Chargers also traded for Khalil Mack, which should sound up their defense. Him and Joey Bosa should be beasts together if they can both stay healthy. Neither one of these guys have a history of staying healthy for 16 games. So good luck to the Chargers on that. The Seahawks released linebacker Bobby Wagner. This guy's a parental all-pro. I wish the Cowboys would upgrade from Vander Esch and bring over Bobby Wagner to fill the middle out and let Mika just run crazy on the outside. That would be a great thing. And I wake up this morning to find out that Mr. Tom Brady is in fact unretiring and returning for his 23rd NFL football season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was shocked. I thought this dude was really going to hold to his word and remain retired, but that's not going to happen. The NFL suspended Calvin Ridley through at least the 2022 season on betting on NFL games. This dude made the worst bet in the history of football. He bet $1,500 and at least lost $10 million plus. And that doesn't count what he would get for endorsements. It doesn't count what he might be facing in the 2023 season, plus his reputation. But the NFL is really fraudulent on this one. These guys are in bed with gambling. I mean, if you look at a show, they talk about point spreads, they talk about this, they talk about sports apps commercials. You got a team in Las Vegas, and you don't think that players are going to gamble? As long as they don't throw games, you do the best that you can to protect the integrity of the game by not having them throw games. But I think they overstep with this. I mean, guys beat their women, they beat their children. These women and children end up in hospitals, and they don't get full seasons. A dude plays bets, and he got at least, they saying at least through the 2022 season. So hopefully the union will step in and help Calvin out, and he'll be able to fight this. I'm going to say congratulations to one of my all-time favorite people in the history of sports, Greg Popovich, for setting the NBA coaching records all-time wins, 1,336 victories. This man he means a lot to me. I'm a Spurs fan. I will always be a Spurs fan, but I get to reevaluate when the last of my Spurs leaves, and that would be Greg Popovich. But I can't imagine ever being anything but a Spurs fan. I had so many great moments. Pop has been outstanding. I love his interviews. I love his style. I love the way he conducts himself. It seems like people don't say anything but positive things about this man, and I have nothing but positive things to say about him also. I'm going to give you what I consider to be the highlight games in the NBA this week, and we're going to go home, people. Monday, we got the Nuggets versus the 76ers. The 76ers need a bounce-back game after Harden played like shit against the Nets. Then you got the Bucks versus the Jazz. Wednesday, you got the Mavs versus the Nets. Kyrie can't play. This game is in Brooklyn, people. Celtics versus the Warriors. Then Friday, you got the Bulls versus the Suns. The Grizzlies versus the Hawks. You get the chance to see two young, outstanding people, Trae Young and Ja Morant, with the Grizzlies and the Hawks. Saturday, you got the Bucks versus the Timberwolves. Sunday, you got the Celtics versus the Nuggets, and you also have the Raptors versus the 76ers. Well, it's been my pleasure. Please, if you get an opportunity to hit me up and give me some kind of feedback, I would love to hear from you. I don't care. I'm not telling you what kind of feedback to give me. I'm not saying that it has to be positive. If you feel that I'm shit, then let me know. Maybe it's something I can improve. Maybe it's something that I won't agree to improve on because it fits my motif. But I like to hear from those who listen. It's the biggest thing you could do. I'm not asking you to share. I'm not asking you to like. I'm just asking you to comment to me. You could even go to my website. A link to my website is listed everywhere that this is posted so that you can hit me up. You could check out my website, see what I'm doing, what I'm up to, my past shows. Everything is logged on there. I mean, hearing from you is the biggest gift that you could give me because I will never ask you for money. I will never ask you to financially support Strange Talk with Doc. I will never ask you to do or buy anything. That's just not who I am. I do this because I like doing this. And I'm going to tell you, like I tell you each and every time, people, I appreciate you. I hope that you have a great and wonderful week. You stay safe, and peace to you and peace to yours.